Might be a security issue. I need to restart my computer. App and browser control, reputation-based protection. We're live. We just didn't have any music.
Oh, is that happening again? Oh, we are live again.
Yeah, we're like 39 seconds in. I'm like waiting, and there's nothing. Brian, are you frozen? He is.
That's hilarious.
It's hilarious because we were waiting on the whole everything to start, and we're fully started. It's calling me. Oh, that's Brian.
Yep.
Hold on, Brian's calling on WhatsApp. Hey, you're frozen. I know. That's what we figured out. We were live. Goodbye, crazy. Y'all look, we're on WhatsApp at the same time. Good morning. Good morning, Marcus. Good morning, Alicia.
Oh my God.
We are the hilarious shenanigan crew this morning.
This is insane. So I'll put Brian on right here since they were able to see him for a second. There.
Right, that's what I did too. I'm gonna hang up. Hold on. Since you have him on the WhatsApp, I'm gonna hang up from WhatsApp.
Just hung up.
He hung up altogether. Today is hilarious.
Happy Monday, everybody. It is episode 174, season 4. Welcome to the show.
No. 174? Oh, yeah, 5 zeros. That's right. I'm sorry. Yep, you're right.
And Brian is on location and, again, having technical difficulties. But I am Jamal Smith, and to my right,
something. I'm Tony Bailey Rains.
That's right.
Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. And welcome to Altadena Talk Shenaniganville. Having a little bit of technical difficulties with Brian this morning. But what are we talking about today? It's our recap show, whatever we've done on the weekend. And I know Brian has some things, but I did one event. Too. Yeah, he will. He'll jump back on, even if he has to go outside or whatever. But I partook. Oh, you guys know I was out of town last week. Yeah, at the After the Fire Summit, because I came back on, I think, Friday. But Saturday, there was a panel of us that spoke at the Rebuild Altadena event, which was at the Eagles Lodge on Woodbury. And it was nice. They had a lot of vendors outside, of course, that you could talk to. Somebody was in there cooking a little small bowl of Jamaican jerk chicken and peas and rice and some squash. And it was really, and some plantain.
Just hearing that makes me happy.
It was so nice. And Brian said he knows the guy. I forgot his name, but it was really good. And then on the other table, they had curry tofu and then some other salad that had tofu in it. So I was like, I'm going over here to the jerk chicken. Yeah. But I can imagine the curry was just as good. So yeah, that's what I did. I was not taking pictures or videos, obviously, because I was on a panel. However, there's a young lady that is going to share that. And when I have access to that, we'll show it. It was Saturday and Sunday, but I was on the community assets panel on Saturday. It was myself, Brandon Lamar, Michael, what is Michael's last name? I want to say Anderson. He's an architect. Yes, Michael Anderson. He's a principal for Anderson Baker Architects. He will be on the show in the near future, either next week or the following week. I've met so many people between the Sonoma conference last week and on Saturday, and they are definitely wanting to come on the show and talk about what it is that they could do or offer to help. So Michael is in LA. This brother is 67 and looks maybe 57, but he does some amazing. He's had projects like Hollywood Park, the not SoFi. What are those other Intuit Dome and a bunch of stuff. He's been an architect for he said 50 years, so maybe
Yeah, he's doing big things.
yeah, he's done big things. And what he does is help people understand how to revitalize their communities. He's done a lot of research, has a lot of reports. He's written some books, one called Urban Magic. Urban Magic, Vibrant Black and Brown Communities Are Possible. So the lady who invited me to be on the panel, her name is Lord, my brain is kind of stuck. I'm trying to figure out. I literally, my brain is just like stuck on whatever right now. Suzanne is the one, but it's from Base Studio, right? BaseStud.io. Heidi. Okay, it just came back. Thank you. Heidi is the creator of this street light that is a solar light that goes up and it arcs over. She had one on display this weekend that was bolted in. It's big, it's beautiful. It's like a green color, so it kind of blends in with the landscape. But it has, I think, 4 solar panels and a battery storage system. So all during the day, and even if it's sunny or rainy, there are sun rays that are out. But the lights bring in these batteries. The batteries bring in the sunlight and the rays and the energy. And then the battery can store for up to 48 hours this electricity. So the lights go on and the community can literally, like your block captain or different people, have access to control it. Not any and everybody, right? Mm-hmm. But if you want it to be programmed to go on at dusk and then go from the bright light to a more amber color light, like say 11 p.m., so your street has lighting, but you don't have that bright stadium lighting all night, keeping you awake. She has this amazing street light that can do that. And the thing about it is it costs money for the county or the block or whoever to get these installed initially. But after a period of a few years, then it's a revenue generating for the community. So you can literally generate revenue from these streetlights after the cost of them is paid off. Yes, thank you. You went to it.
Yeah, sorry it took so long.
No, it's quite all right. I should have probably had something, but again, I wasn't taking the pictures and videos. That streetlight is so incredible. And so she wants to work with communities to get us to that space where throughout Altadena, we know that Edison has, all these poles up and stuff, although they're now going underground and replacing the power poles. But we got to work with the county because we know even in Altadena, there's still some areas that don't have streetlights and that are dark. And so if we could get these throughout Altadena as we rebuild, then after a little bit of time, they'll actually generate revenue. And then Michael was talking about how he helped the city of Santa Monica. They have their own underground, like, I don't want to call them cisterns, but they're these tanks that hold 1.5 million gallons of water. So any rainwater that comes, not only can it hold, but it can recycle the water and also generate revenue for the community. And that's the thing about Altadena that we have not had. We don't have anything that's generating revenue when it comes to utilities. Never have. And so in order to be sustainable for the long term in the future, we really need to think about some of these things. And so the Regrow Altadena conference or whatever was really, really eye-opening. And it can change your mind because, yes, we're used to the way things have been, but how do we build our community back better for the next 100+ years, right? We know when it comes to building materials, we have the hardening and all of that. But I mentioned, and a lot of people at the Regrow Altadena had never heard of this until I said it on Saturday. When you rebuild your house, there are hardening standards. California's standards are higher than the rest of the nation on building your community back with these standards. And it's called Title 24. But on top of that, you can literally get a certification, which is either through IBHS or they actually link and partner with Fortified Home. And I believe it's fortifiedhome.com, but there is an actual Fortified Home certification. So when your house is back up, you've got the certificate of occupancy from the county, you've got your keys, you've moved back in. Hopefully you have also gone through the process to get your certification that you are a fortified home, which essentially means your house is, now I'm putting air quotes, fireproof, floodproof, hurricane proof, earthquake proof, because of the standards, right? So for the most part, we had a lady at the summit show us on the screen, like her home before, the home after. Her insurance bill was like, had jumped up to $10,000 a year to get reinsured for this home she was moving into. She got the Fortified Home certification. They dropped that bill from $10,000 to $800 a year. And so when people are saying, and builders are saying, or community members, oh, they're just going to drop us anyway. And we've heard it even from guests on the show, that, oh, after you rebuild, they're going to drop you. Not necessarily. If you go the extra mile and do all the stuff you need, windows, siding, roofing, that won't burn up. And then there was even a guy that I met. Let me look in my inbox because I'll have the information there. But literally their business has, and this is for people whose homes didn't burn down, but they're there. And now that it's an extreme fire risk, there is a coating. It is a clear coat that can go all over your home. They'll block off your windows and all that. But there's a full clear coat that prevents your home from catching fire. And so I'll get that information. I know that I'm going to bring him on to the show as well. But there are things out there that will help people so that their insurance won't go up 100% or go up from, you know, what it was, maybe $1,200 or $1,500 a year to $10,000 a year. And yes, you may have to put some money out to make your home considered hardened, right? You may want to look at that defensible space, which is, we know, 5 feet all around. But then the defensible space that will go above, which would be the coating on your home that will keep it from catching fire. Or like if they told me I had to get fire sprinklers, I wouldn't get fire sprinklers in my house. I would get the ones that are on the outside. And they would come in and they would put them on the roof. But then they put these underground tanks in your yard that, because there has to be a water source that can hold however many hundreds of gallons of water. And then when those fire sprinklers need to go off, that's the source that they get the water from. And, or there's another part, a component that it'll go from the water source and then go to the retardant source, and it will mix and make the retardant come out of the sprinklers outside on the top of your home. So there are a lot of things to do, or that you can do, to make sure that our homes, the ones that didn't burn, are considered hardened, right? And have all the fire escaping, to make sure your insurance doesn't go through the roof. And then for those that rebuild, you can get this Fortified Home certification. And once you have that, your insurance could literally go from, they may quote you $10,000 a year, which who can afford that on top of a mortgage and all this other stuff, to being back at $800 a year or $1,500 a year or whatever. So I am learning and becoming, I'm not an expert by any means yet, but I'm learning so much and becoming more knowledgeable day in and day out and week in and week out with what there is available to our community on how literally we can become much better. And all of these people that are bringing things to us know from previous fires, and then they are willing to sit down and listen to the community, because that's one thing that I said and Brendan Lamar said. I echo what Tony says. Don't come in and tell us what you're going to do and what we have to do. Come in and say, this is what we can offer, but we're here to listen, because at the end of the day, it's your community and we're here to help. And that's what we're telling people. So they're like, no, we absolutely are in agreement with that. We don't want to come in and tell you, oh, you have to do this, or oh, we're going to do this. And it's a right, because then you take the community's rights and authority and wishes away, and we don't want that. So the Regrow Altadena, they were also giving away plants like poppies or California native poppies, because that, everybody that knows anything about Altadena, it was all poppy fields. And just a bunch of stuff, but it's amazing. The new technology and things that are out there that can really help us build our community back much, much better. And as basically a fortified community. Not saying any homes will look like forts, because they will not, but the likelihood of them doing this again, burning like this again, is going to be a lot slimmer because of all the new building materials and technology that will prevent it from happening again.
I think that's fantastic, Tony, because the bottom line is they're going to learn so much about the rebuilding process. And if they take advantage of this additional information that's being provided above and beyond just the regular typical rebuild, it's going to allow them to put themselves in a position to truly strengthen their house, to truly be in a position to get insured again. Because I know there's a lot of people, like you were saying, that are scared that they rebuild and not going to be able to get insured again. But if they take those additional steps to make their home fireproof or fire resistant or whatever the phrase is, but for all different phases of it, I think it'll benefit them, not just for being insured, but it'll make their house last even longer than it would have anyway. So that's awesome. I'm glad you're able to get that information and disseminate it to everybody. Number one, who was there, who you talk with, and obviously the folks who watch the show. So thank you very much.
And a lot of those people are going to come on, whether I met them this past week in Sonoma or at the Regrow. I can't even tell you how many. I purposely didn't open when I do my Blink card to people, and then it comes to the email with their info. I purposely have not opened it, because I told them I will get with you next week, because we left the Sonoma event Thursday. So I was like, I'm not doing that on Friday. And then I knew I had to speak at the Regrow Altadena on Saturday. So I told people there, expect information from me or emails from me on Monday or later next week, because I need to give them dates, because everybody wants to come on the show. Because everywhere I go, I am so promoting Altadena, 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 and that we are aimed to be a major source for people to get information, Altadena Talk. So please log in. And so people know that we have over 800,000 views and, so many per month. And so they're like, okay, I want to come on and share. So I told them there will be a vetting process that they have to go through first. Because I don't want to just meet you and we exchange information. Like I met Saturday this dude that originally is from Chicago. I think he lives in Santa Monica, but he's a developer, white dude, super cool. I think his name is Andrew. Yeah, Andrew. And so we met Saturday, and he told me, he said, yeah, I was burnt out. So, and I said, oh, where were you? And he looked at me strange. And I said, oh, wait, you said you were burnt out. I said, do you mean you were burnt out working as a developer? And because he said he took a break, right? He said, oh, yeah, I'm so sorry. I said, yeah, you said burnt out. But we all up here, all these homes and everything have literally been burned out. So you're telling me you were burned out, but you're talking about being burnt out, exhausted, and took a break. He was like, I am so sorry. I said, so what are you trying to come in and get some stuff you can develop? He said, I'm here to learn about all the technologies, obviously, and yes, network. And if I can be of any assistance to Altadena, I want to serve your community. So I was like, okay, because you don't really hear a developer saying that, right? You hear developers saying, I'm here to buy land and develop some stuff, right? Because what I said on the panel was, if you're not here for us, we don't want you. And Brandon was like, that part. No, what do they do? Like this? No. Almost like the poetry people.
I'm not hip. Maybe this.
I'm not either. Yeah. I think that's what it was. When I said it, Brandon was over there like, and so my thing was, and I'm just going to tell anybody that I don't care where you are. When we were in Sonoma, the mayor of Maui and Zeke and all of them, they were super cool people. The mayor's name is Richard. This dude is so dope. He used to be the chief judge over on Maui. and so humble, so cool. But he's like their mayor. Everybody loves him. And he talked about a lot of stuff. And then meeting people from, it was funny because I was telling you, I met this one guy from CAL FIRE and we're sitting there talking. And I'm like, oh, my brother's a fire chief of CAL FIRE. And he's like, what's his name? And I tell him, and he was like, I know Jeff. He's on my team, you know. So my brother and I talked about that the other day. But just connecting with people, I never thought 8 months ago, almost 9 months ago, I'd be even in this space, right? That in another year, I'm probably going to be one of the experts that people are calling to say, hey, this or that, because
year?
of what.
You already being reached out to as an expert.
Dude, but that's what I'm saying. You're
going to be an official expert at that point.
That's what I'm saying, right? Yeah. Like I don't consider myself an expert at all when there are people who, I will say this, I will be a more informed community leader. That's what I will be. Because every day I'm learning something. And I'll be the first one to tell you, because people have seen me on here go at it with folks, right? My eyes are being so opened on a regular basis. And I thank God for the space that we're in and that I'm able to go to conferences and speak or listen at events, because I'm learning so much that in turn I take back to the community. One of the things that I said was, you guys know the Altadena Community Gardens over on the west side? They said, yes. So I said, so my dad was one of the main founders, him and his buddy, Fred Shotlow, who passed away. I said, so the military academy that was over there, you know, closed down and the county had the land. And my dad worked for the county for 32 years. And he went to them to ask about it becoming, you know, could they get the land for the garden? And so he started it 2 weeks ago. They went and talked to the now president and vice president, and they did an oral history and recorded my dad and mom talking about it. Because when I was there a couple months ago in May, I was saying, yeah, I think it started like 73. And this one guy argued me down. No, it didn't. It couldn't have. It didn't start till 79 or 80. I said, no, I was about 8 years old. That was in 73. And I remember, because I'm super prissy, always have been. And I wasn't trying to be outside in gardening and all that stuff and getting dirty. But we came over here. I remember we had zucchini as one of the first crops. I told him where his plot was. So then when they met him and my mom, they asked him, like, where was your plot? When did it get started? And everything that I remember, my parents told him, right? And they were like, oh, Tony said that. And they were like, yeah, because she knows it was her life, right? So when I was oral history. So when I was at the Regrow Altadena on Saturday, and I mentioned it during the panel, I said, one of the things I've been hearing and I think would be great is that's on the west side. There's nothing on the east side. And I think it would be fabulous. You know, the upper baseball diamond at Farnsworth? Mm-hmm. And all that land past the diamond that goes over to Marengo?
Yeah.
That'd be a perfect spot for a community garden on the east side.
That whole area, or you mean
not the furthest? Not the whole area, but we're also talking about potentially having a solar farm. Mm-hmm. And so that whole area, the diamond plus all the way to, you know, where some of the trees are, would be great for a solar farm and a community garden. Because on the west side, that community garden is smaller, and there's 125 people on the wait list for when it reopens that want plots, and there's not enough land. Oh, wow. And so there are plenty of people that are on the east side. So I literally had 2 people come up afterwards that were like, I'll help you with it. Like, I'm in real good with the county and some other stuff. We lived on the east side, right by the park. So they were like, let's honor your dad and get the east side Altadena Community Gardens established when, you know, as we build back our community. And I'm like, yeah, let's go for it. So I think that if we are looking at how do we reestablish our community much better, because above Altadena Drive, there's nothing. Below Altadena Drive, you go down to Woodbury for Super King, you go down to Mendocino for grocery outlet. But if we have community gardens that everybody who wants garden space can have it, and we all come together and people can go and exchange, and hey, I don't have to run down, not trying to put grocery stores out of business, but if it's fresh vegetables and stuff that we know are organic, right? because we're organically gardening, we're using neem oil, we're not using pesticides, things like that. I could be like, oh, let me run around the corner real quick or down the block and get everything that I need for my salad or my vegetables tonight, or, for the week or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, and people could pay for their plots or whatever. And then that way that keeps some of the maintenance up and, all of that. But I think that we need to look at how do we do this as a community to reestablish and rebuild for everyone. And so that's what we talked about on Saturday also, is extending the Altadena Community Garden, but having a East Side Altadena Community Garden. When, they'll reopen in the spring, the West Side one, but how do we on the build back do that one on the East? Solar farm, because shared resources are important. If they're saying everybody has to have solar, what if you have somebody that doesn't rebuild immediately because they just can't afford it, right? And we get them back, but they don't. If we have a solar farm, or even if everybody's solar goes into this grid that can help power these street lights, because they also bring, and if you want to bring that street light back up, the street light having its own solar panels, then that ensures the entire Altadena community, if there's ever a power outage, has power for at least 48 hours, because we are building up a solar grid to have our own solar system. If when we rebuild, we do another one that's similar to Santa Monica's model of having 1.5 million gallon water tank and reclamation, where that water can be used but be recycled to Altadena, instead of us having 3 separate water companies, and we know Las Flores may not come back, they're in talks or whatever. We shouldn't have to worry about if there's a fire anywhere that the county's hydrants are empty, because we got 1.5 million gallons of water that's available to us to utilize. So that's why, like, Michael's going to come on the show and just really reimagining how we rebuild. And that goes beyond the houses, right? But for a more sustainable community in the future. So, yeah, I'm learning all this stuff, and it's amazing. And it's really opening my mind and my eyes to what the possibilities are. And I'm excited to keep meeting people and seeing how we could do it. And Steve Lewis, who is this architect, I tried to send you that picture, Jamal. I'm going to see if I could put it in our assets or in our private chat or something.
Where did you send it originally?
I tried to do it on my WhatsApp, but my WhatsApp is acting funny when I'm trying to log on the computer. Many times as I've been on WhatsApp online, now all of a sudden it's not. So what I'm going to do is copy it, and I'm going to send it to your Gmail real quick.
Okay.
Hold on. But he is an architect who's been around a long time, because we were talking about stuff he's 70 years old. So he's been around a very long time. And we were talking about things from the 60s, 70s, 80s, all that. And he was like, at first he was like, how do you know that stuff? Because everybody thinks I'm like in my 40s, right? I said, because I've been here since 1968, and he was like, what? And so we were just talking about all that. But he happened to have that guy's book, Michael's book, Urban, what was it called again? Urban Magic, Vibrant. So a lot of these people are very, very, very pro Altadena Black and Brown community.
Oh, yeah.
Not that anybody else.
Business Expo, he stopped by us.
Okay, good. It is the same gentleman?
Yeah, there were 2. One with a darker skinned brother with the glasses.
Okay.
And then this gentleman as well.
So,
right, let me get up real quick.
Yeah, so he wants to come on and talk about some things. And one of the things that I said, and I will keep reiterating a zillion times, is Altadena always has, well, I won't say always has, because back in the 60s and 70s, it wasn't as diverse. And it wasn't as nice as it is now, because there were some racist things. We had neighbors move out when my parents moved in, 68 and things like that, because they still didn't want Black folks, especially on the East Side where we were. But there, over the years, has been a really good effort to make sure that our community has been diverse. And when I say diverse, yes, culturally diverse. We know that the land that Altadena is on was originally Tongva land. And so the natives who were Tongvas were there. And then when the Woodburys, established it in, what was it, 1887? Forward, it was white. It was like a getaway, a retreat, almost like a Palos Verdes or something. And then when the redlining happens in I think it was early as the 40s, 50s. So the soil testing, Omar, if you could pop that up, is the responsibility of each individual. I'll talk a little bit about that.
I think he was talking about the park when you're talking about the community garden.
Right. But that one would be on the county. But what is happening is just like on the west side for the garden, there were contaminants found. And so what has been happening over the last few months is I went in May. They have this stuff. We call it mushroom poop. I don't know the technical term is, but that's what they told me. I know every time I say that you laugh, but the people at the gardens was like, Tony, just call it mushroom poop. Because literally what happens is mushrooms that are grown in huge bulk farms and stuff for us to eat, they cut the mushrooms, right? What we see in the store is what's cut above ground. What's under the ground, they refer to as mushroom poop. You can look up the real name for mushroom poop, which is probably what you're doing, Jamal, and a picture of it. But they told me, they were like, just call it mushroom poop, Tony. I was like, all right, cool. So that's all I know. And that's what I keep calling it. But whatever it is so potent and powerful because mushrooms, like onions, take toxins and stuff out, right? So they have remediated and are continuing to remediate the soil at the gardens on the west side with this mushroom poop and hay. They've got tons of barrels of hay that they spread down. We went over, they did pitchforks and shovels and dug up the dirt and then incorporated this mushroom poop and rake over and put the hay. It naturally, organically pulls toxins out of the soil. They were going to reopen in January. They said it's probably going to be between March and May instead because they want to give extra time for this organic material to do its work, right? So as we are working with them, Omar, and make that suggestion and hopefully can get the ground over there on the east side, we will do the same thing. We don't want anybody having anything toxic. And when it comes to individuals for their homes, the Army Corps generally does that as part of what they do when they do debris removal. We had a new administration come in. President Biden was in and signed right after the fires a national federal disaster, which is why Army Corps came in to do their stuff. Had it been the current administration, we probably would not have gotten as much as we did get. But because the new administration came in and said nope to this and nope to this. And one of the things they said nope to was the soil testing. Usually part of the cleanup, because it happened in Lahaina, it happened in Camp Fire, all these people I met, Marshall Fire in Boulder a couple of years ago, Paradise Tubbs Fire, Sonoma, all these places that we were in this summit last week. I talked to so many people and they were like, yeah, they did it for hours because that's a normal part of the process. But votes matter, right? And so now with this administration, they've cut things. And one of the things that they said nope to was soil testing for Altadena and Palisades. So there are plenty of other entities that are still doing it, including USC Clean Project, which we had on a few weeks ago. They are still accepting soil at Grocery Outlet on Lake and some other places. You can look up USC Clean Project, see where you can drop your soil off, but wear gloves, get a Ziploc bag. I say get a couple of them and scoop some of your soil into it, take it and drop it off. They'll tell you, what to write on it, your name, address, email, phone number, whatever. They will test your soil and they will come back to tell you what particulates might be in it, how much is in it, and all of that. So that's just as a reminder for homeowners, but definitely for potentially us having a garden on the east side that is part of Altadena Community Gardens, but it'll hopefully just be named Altadena Community Gardens East. That is something that we're not going to do. Just start a garden and have a potential of contaminants in that soil that anybody could eat. We would make sure we've got to go to the county and try to get it and talk about the benefit of it, because the benefit is not just good, clean, healthy food, but the community coming together. And as we know, as people come back, he's back. We've got to allow the community to have as much time together as possible. People are doing things now to make sure that they're, back eating together, going to different events. That's why we're having an event in October and one in November for the community. So yeah, these are all things that are being taken into consideration, not just from individuals talking to one another, but county officials, partnerships, groups, all of that. It's thinking about what is the best thing for Altadena and how we do it together as a community, how we listen to the community voices, bring people in, have the conversations, and not just be in a rush to get everything back, but really build the community back. Because to be honest, listening to all these experts, it is going to take us about 10 years for our community to be fully back. I'm not talking about houses. We'll see houses this year that people are moved back into. I think it's going to take us 2 to 3 years for the bulk of Altadena to have houses back up, 5 max. We might have all of them up because, again, I found out from the Lahaina people, the mayor said Thursday, their last lot just got cleared in August and they only had 1,500. And I don't mean to say only like to diminish it, but when you look at our numbers of 5,800 or something like that,
5.5 times that, 4.5 times that,
and our stuff got cleared in a matter of a few months. So it has been expedited. We are well ahead of the curve. Lahaina has 1 or 2 houses up, and it happened 2 years ago, August. And I don't know if everybody knows this, but the 8th is a very significant date because the Paradise Fire, I believe the Tubbs Fire, I believe the Marshall Fire, the Lahaina Fire, all happened on the 8th. I found out when I was up at the summit last year.
Wow, really?
Different years, different months. Ours started the night of the 7th, but the bulk of Altadena burned on the 8th. I was like, what in the world is that about? Yes, we were talking to different people and people that were on panels and on the mic. And Jennifer, who found it after the fire, after those fires up in Sonoma, was like, her house didn't burn, but she saw how it impacted the community and she has a heart for her community. So many of the fires were on the 8th and ours was January 7th and 8th, right? Many of the fires burned, I found out too, which was is coincidental, but it was like, wow, 11 days, anywhere between 11 and 21 days. The bulk of these fires have burned because it takes just that long. But when it comes to us being ahead of the curve for where we are so much further advanced. Some communities who had 400 homes that burned down, they're about 98% back, and it took them 5 or 6 years. So the fact that we're rebuilding already and we have people coming in, talking to us, talking about how we can do better and move forward better, super important. I'm thankful that I am part of the people that are, at these meetings and learning so much, and that we can bring it here on Altadena Talks and make sure that the community's informed. Hi, Brian. Welcome back.
Welcome back, brother.
Pleasure to be here. How are you?
Yeah, just delayed a little bit, but that's good.
And and here it was. I woke up early.
Oh, now you're good.
Got everything set up.
You were on.
Put everything there. Was on there. Had my.
He was dancing in the background.
He was on.
Getting my little boogie on. Showing off my spatial area back here.
Yeah.
I'm doing the backstroke while you.
Nobody understands what's happening right there.
Yeah.
Well, that means.
Sorry, I had to slide over to the other computer.
Back here.
They didn't know before.
No, before I was like this. Can't move this right. Remember, we used to always talk about that. I got this much space. Now I got.
That was primarily when you were in the closet.
This much space.
Right. Well, welcome back, brother.
Hey, I had some stuff I was going to talk about, but the frustration of getting kicked off the show was too much. So I went over and visited with craft services while the computer was coming back. So I had
Well,
like
now
some
you're up
catfish,
and running.
some
You should
chicken.
share the information you're going to share.
Yeah, you're back.
I don't even remember what it was.
Yes, you
Oh,
do.
well, yeah,
Yes,
actually,
you
I
do.
do.
Yeah. Don't be stubborn.
I got not knowing that Tony was still there, but I was filming outside of the Altadena Regrowth Summit, and they were talking about modes of transportation. Now, most of them were talking about they ride electric bikes or they use their own two legs. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody uses their own two legs to get to some mode of transportation, unless, of course, somebody mute me.
I did. I mistakenly. You're good.
Oh,
I hear you.
So now we clowning now, huh? So now we.
No, I was trying to raise the volume because you kind of went low for a second.
Oh, raise the roof. Raise the roof. My volume's up high over here on my computer, so I think.
Anyway,
yeah.
you're back.
Just took a lot of pictures, filmed them. They'll be up on the website. I didn't really film any of the people speaking except when they introduced themselves. So at least you'll have that much. There was one lady there that was filming a lot of people, so I'm pretty sure that her footage will be out there soon.
And me and Tony missed each other like strangers in the dark. They were like,
I didn't know she was inside. I didn't even know they had.
I was inside on my panel, and he was outside.
Mm-hmm.
And then I walked in to where Hilly was in the kitchen, and I said, I don't see anything in here. Then I walked into the bar area, and I don't see nobody over there. I forgot they have that other room.
That's where we were.
Yeah, I forgot all about it.
Yeah. See, you was right there, bro.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Tony, I know we talk about it all the time, and I hate to keep bringing it up not to diminish the speed in which we're going through this rebuild, but I still want to throw out the fact that, remember, we got a lot of events coming in a couple of years, the biggest of which is the Olympics. We do have FIFA and maybe another couple that I can't remember off the top of my head. But I think that is also an underlying factor to the speed in which they're trying to make things come back. Because although a lot of people didn't really venture probably up into Altadena back in 1984 when we hosted the Olympics, the last time, they still might. And especially now because of the fires, and they probably want to have it looking a little better, at least with
you already know
a number of people rebuilding. What's up?
Supposedly they're moving the diving competition.
Yeah, the aquatics.
So that's why these roads really about to be nice and tidy.
Oh yeah, they're gonna fix it all.
But the only thing I think with that, Jamal, is it would just be looky-loos, right? That want to go up into Altadena, because Pasadena, even if all the diving is at the Rose Bowl, all that's not Altadena. People wouldn't just venture up there. Now, maybe some of the homes that they had that they could rent as Airbnbs are gone or whatever, right? Revenue. But if you don't know about Altadena and you go to the Rose Bowl for a soccer match or a diving competition, you're not just going to venture into Altadena unless you just are driving and get lost. However, the world knows about these fires in Altadena. So the proximity of us being right here above, then yes, people would go, oh, well, let's go and be looky-loos. Like you remember the touristy looky-loos within the first few weeks, once you could get in there, once the National Guard left, like I'd be driving and people would be like, oh, let me go see. And I would look at people like, what? Literally, if they were driving on our block and I was there doing something, I would. Get out of here. And I confronted a couple people and I was like, can I help you? Oh, no, we're just looking. I said, are you from here? No. I said, then leave. We don't want you here. Like, and one lady was all scared, right? But I did because
she gave him the reverse racism. We don't want your kind over here messing with our nation.
But it was as an Altadenian, like, get out of here. We don't want you come looky-looing at the devastation we've had. Just like I hear now, CBS and Kenya Burris is rethinking this old little silly sitcom that they were going to try to do, because people are in an uproar and saying, no, we don't want that. Don't try to make some money or whatever off of the pain of Altadena, right?
You didn't do it to nobody else. You didn't do it with
exactly. Go do it in Palisades. Go do it in Palisades, because Palisades ain't gonna let you do it.
Hollywood. Go do it in Hollywood Hills.
Exactly. Go do it in Hollywood Hills or Palisades. So the fact is, like, yes, our proximity to it might be a a thing, right? Like, oh, well, yeah, let's go or whatever. But other than that, hopefully they wouldn't be like, oh, because it's a few years later. However, FIFA may or may not be here because
I know. Yeah, because all that extra
because the governing board is like, look, the foolishness in the U.S. right now, we may rethink it and take it to Canada or just be in Mexico.
Billions of dollars.
Billions, right?
Because these little grocery store, hardware store owner turned ICE agent with a mask. So now he's making 50,000 rounding up 10 people or whatever, and then he goes back to his hardware store. That's why he's got the mask on, sort of like the Ku Klux Klan. And they just passed a thing saying that you can no longer wear masks. We're
He's
just
talking
waiting
about
for
signing it. He's waiting. We're waiting his signature.
Sign it right away.
We'll sign it.
Yeah.
And then
that way we can see you, Billy Bob. We know you work at the hardware store trying to round up some people.
And then even more important than either of those Olympics, or I don't know if I'll say more important, but when it comes to the political side, we got somebody that's likely going to be running for president in 2028.
Yeah,
right.
So
our governor. So he's trying to make sure things are right because he needs votes. I mean, and that's any politician.
Because we need that gerrymandering reversal like they did in Texas. You want to play hardball, we don't play hardball.
But you know what? I gotta say this. I respect him for the way he did it. He's taking it to the voters. It's a Prop 50. We can vote yes or no.
Happen too.
Right, because in Texas they didn't take it to the voters. They didn't listen. And just last week was it Illinois or
no, it was
another one of them?
I can't remember.
No,
Missouri?
I think it is Illinois.
Missouri? Okay.
Oh, Missouri. Yeah, Missouri. The Republicans in Missouri did it too.
Doing the same
and they're
thing.
waiting on their person to sign it. So instead of him just saying, hey, we're going to do the same thing, they're like, no, we're going to put it to a vote and let the voters decide, do we want to go in a redistrict or not? And so
it's normally done on census years, once every 10 years. And because it's out of the cycle, they got to put it to the vote.
Exactly.
And to your point, I think it's great.
And that's how it should be.
It's either going to work or it's not, but it's up to the people.
Exactly. If Prop 50 passes, we redistrict. If it doesn't, we stay like it is. And then there was this one Republican last week that said, well, if we do Prop 50, then we need to split the state. Because he wants Inland Empire type communities to be all the red communities to be one state and everybody else to be another state. And it's like, knock it off. We're not splitting the state.
Also for years.
Yeah, they've
been north and south, right?
If you split the state, do you know the majority of the population is in the southern?
Yeah,
so LA County's nothing to do. What are you going to do up there?
Nothing.
That's
the good morning, Derek.
Just the governor is up there. That's all.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on that could potentially make it that they say, oh, let's get all of this done and get it done quickly. And if that's what it takes, then that's what it takes, right? And if that benefits us, great. However, that would be for homes, because even when Michael Anderson comes on, he is going to speak about this funding that they have and the way that we're going to keep getting funding. Because what happens with these big funders that are private is once the money goes to a community, once a new disaster comes, guess what? They move to that new disaster. Mm-hmm. And if you don't, the money they gave you, if you don't use it, they'll pull it back and put it towards another disaster. And disasters are going to continue to happen. So one of the things that he is saying is they want to bring nice, like luxury RVs to the lots. Because, we're 8 months in, which means from 24 months, how many months is that, y'all? Do some quick math. 16? There's about 16 months left, I think. Mm-hmm. For people's ALE. Now, yes, if absolutely mandatory, you can request and they can extend it to 36 months, but the ALE is usually 24 months. So they want to try to get most people either in their homes again or starting the rebuild process before that. So you don't have rent and mortgage beyond that when ALE is done and you'd have to do mortgage and rent on your own. right? Right now, people have the ALE helping to pay for, the rentals and all of that. So Michael is talking about they have these funds and they are going to start with 40, and he's going to get me that application. But after that, they could stand up 100 of these luxury RVs a month. And if people want to live on their property while their home begins the rebuild process, that helps with squatters trying to come against that. It helps community be back together. So you and your neighbors can still be there. And if your ALE is beginning to run out or has, then you could have a place to live where you're not paying the extra, even though you're paying your mortgage and your house is being rebuilt. So I'll have Mike on in a couple of weeks. He'll explain it exactly what it's like. And hopefully we can bring a lot of information to the community and resources that they don't know about, and go from there.
And then we'll find out if they're finished or if they're done.
Yep. And I was going to say, with that in mind, we want to reiterate, hey, we love you participating every day, but please share this information, whether you watch it on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, in particular YouTube, because if you don't catch it live and for whatever reason you miss something after 30 days, it's gone on Facebook and IG. So
how do I keep getting put on mute?
No, it was me that was muted.
Yeah, it was Jamal. You weren't.
It wasn't you, it was me, because I was talking at the same time you were.
Oh,
but yeah, it was me, not you.
I was confused.
So go ahead and say what you're going to say. I just wanted people to share.
I didn't have anything to say.
Oh, get out of here.
I enjoy watching the show now.
You got
I can do other stuff. I don't have to talk as much.
Yeah, I've been.
This is perfect. No, I'm not even playing with you. I'm dead serious.
No, I was referring back to the private comments. I was just like, man, I've been doing that.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know because I don't have control of it. So that's why I told you when I put that
I had to
recreate
it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oops.
Yeah, well, we're back in stride again.
Shout out to everybody. Alicia's laughing at us. Russ just joined. We have J Williams _91. So let's see. Russ is here. We have who else we got?
Russ is chilling. Alicia's chilling. What more can we say? Stop billing.
That's no joke.
Yeah, they good.
Courtney 684 joined us. Thank you. There he is. There we go again.
Understood.
Viola
Dora.
Yes.
Russ win. Hi, everyone.
That's my second.
And not only share it, but actually like or subscribe. Subscribe is big because we've had literally twice now, and once when I was over on my vacation in July, somebody texted me and other people saw it, where Fox News, some jerk on Fox News had a clip of me, and I think Dom was on.
Yeah, talking about 7 views.
They got $100,000 and they only had 7 views.
They need to interview us personally.
Right, but they never
they were looking at one of the individuals' pages, probably.
Right.
Because remember, it's not just Altadena Talks pages that we post on, but it's our individual Facebooks, our individual Instagrams, and YouTubes where we can, right? So if you're not looking at one that has the most people who subscribe to it, then of course they're going to get a low number. So we do multiple things. So the numbers we quote are true. You just got to make sure that we group everything together. When we tell you the numbers that we have. So they weren't lying. Now, I got to give it to Fox. They weren't lying, but they weren't telling the whole truth.
They looked at Altadena Talks page.
But that's what I'm saying. They weren't telling the whole truth either.
They weren't telling the truth. They were trying to make it like they always do is, they only had 7 views. No, the clip you saw on that page had it, but you don't have all our numbers from the back end. And so you don't know what we have. And we cannot manipulate our numbers. Literally, we go to a professional dashboard and it shows us who's watched it, but how many views, if people liked it, all of that kind of stuff. So we're not trying to say, we have over 800,000 views since January on some BS. We really do. But we thank you, but also subscribe, because if you subscribe, then when you see us out and we talk about something, you won't say, "Oh, I didn't know." And then I say, "Well, are you following us on YouTube?" And you go, "I think so," and pull it up, but you're not subscribed, or you are subscribed, and when you get the alert, you ignore it. So if you really want to know what we're doing and get it, whether it's real time or you watch it later, definitely go to our YouTube, where all the 174 episodes, including today's, are going to be or are already. And you'll be able to go and search for whatever you need, whether it's a builder, whether it's county assessor, whatever, and get the information, because likely we've had the people on. And Brian and Jamal are very good and very specific about how they title this, so that when you go and look, where like it says Altadena Talks Season 4, Episode 174, we can recap what went on. You can look that up and see all of those. If it's builders, or like tomorrow, we'll have Senator Sasha Renee Perez on, right? Because they just finished session last week. It will be titled that way. So if you're not able to watch it in live real time, you can go back and you can say, "Oh yeah, they talked about that." Because we're going to talk about what bills just passed and things that got defeated that she was co-sponsoring or something, and what's the next step, right? How do we make sure that Altadena is covered or protected, and what's the status on some things? So if you're not able to watch live, you can most definitely watch on YouTube at any time and watch a replay.
The beautiful thing about having everything on YouTube is that it doesn't matter how many people have subscribed or how many people watch, the information is there. All you have to do is look. If you want to go back and see every builder episode, you can do that. Nothing has changed. No regulations have changed. The only thing is slight policies, like when the waivers came along for permits and stuff like that. But right now we're in our infancy.
Say it one more time.
I wanted to say infant stages, but it wouldn't come out.
Yeah, but fifth time was the charm.
Don't get me started. But seriously, that's why we set up this whole situation, so that you would be able to go back and find stuff. If you want to see what events we went to, you can go to our website and find that out. We got 2 different websites. One is for the podcast, one is for the nonprofit. They're both chock full of information. So,
and folks, we refer back to our episodes too. Like if you ask questions,
we really do.
Hey, talk some about the tax assessor. He had some real good explanation about some stuff that had been a hot topic. And the easiest way to explain it, go watch the episode, hear it from the horse's mouth, not calling him a horse, but you know the phrase and what it means, right? So you get the specific wording directly from the person who is the professional and the one who's the go-to person. You hear it directly from them, as opposed from us, where we might slightly say it incorrectly. But we refer people back to all these things. Even when people want to talk about builders, who do I select? We refer them back to all our builders. Just like Tony said, go to YouTube, look from our actual page and type in builders. You'll see all of them. Go watch all of them, make an educated decision.
I found 17 that has something to do with building.
Bam. How about that?
Yeah.
I mean, I've done it. I know.
I'm just saying.
People that I personally have referred back to our stuff that have moved through the process and been very thankful that they had the information there. And in fact, they had known about the podcast up until that point, and we're talking up to as recent as a month ago. But they just didn't really. They had a preconceived notion of what was happening on the podcast. They didn't realize how much value was being provided. I guess because of what other podcasts they've listened to. But hey, give it a shot, listen to it, share it with people, encourage them to watch and see what information is there, because I think they'll be pleasantly surprised if they, didn't already just give it a good shot of what is provided and how useful it can be. I'm stepping off my soapbox. Okay. Cool.
No, hey, I'm letting both y'all, because I'm always talking. That's why I'm just sitting here quietly. I want y'all to talk.
I was enjoying the vacation.
And I don't talk much because I lose my voice the more I talk. It's crazy. I don't know how y'all do it.
I don't know how you're going to do it.
It's getting there. It's like my throat gets dry and gets all tight and everything. It's crazy.
That's all right. Man.
Got some more people.
Get some throat coat tea.
Right.
That's what I'm
That's so
drinking.
funny because
That
now I'm
and
watching it. I
Indonesia.
can't see anybody pop up. That's so weird.
Because you be having technical difficulties.
We got
You
Mr.
know,
KJ, the investor, just joined.
Hi, KJ. Or Mr. KJ, the investor.
Mm-hmm.
So, anywho, I think that's all I have for weekend stuff.
yeah,
Anybody
me
else?
too.
We have a couple announcements, Jamal. Not all of them. So I'm the only one so far. I'm gonna knock on all this wood desk. That's not having technical difficulties today. Jamal's computer decided to reboot or update or something right before the show, which is why we started a little later today.
Yeah, mine just forced itself on me. I'm shutting you down, brother, today.
Yeah, he started and then it just went.
Right. It's just so weird. It really did. It was like, I can't take it no more, man. I was trying to hold off until we started.
How old is
but if you
computer?
I just bought it 5 years ago.
That's old.
We got the same exact computer.
No,
literally.
For what our computers do,
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
it's the best. I mean, the one that I bought before its predecessor, I've had since 2011. I still use. They last, but
All I say
this
is
one just. I shouldn't have never left it on for 5
years.
That's what.
Mm-mm.
I mean, give or take, never. Now I do.
Oh.
Well, because the main battery swole up. I thought it was going to bust. Yeah, going to bust out something. What's happening, homie? And then the little battery, swole Junior. Man, what's up, homeboy? You supposed to change me too, but you changed the big guy. So now it's actually working fine. It's just, I don't know what that was. I think it's because there's a whole lot of plugs plugged in. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Thank you, Alicia.
6 plugs plugged in, lights on, through the USB, 2 cell phones plugged in. Yeah.
So,
that's the one.
We will have more info. So Jamal's having technical difficulties on the slides that he usually presents. So I think
I'm good now.
Oh, are you? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what I said. I said I'm going to get these going while y'all talk, and I'll get them up to speed. And the ones that you were talking about, I was like, go ahead and talk about them, and I'll put them up tomorrow. But I got them in there now, so we're.
And then Tony's like, "Dang, well now that forced me to go find them."
So check it out. I'm not going to do all the earlier stuff where we talk about the one-stop permit center and all that stuff. We'll get to that tomorrow. I'll just talk about the other stuff going on this week, and I might skip a couple slides as we go through as well. So,
I'm going to mute so you can go in and do the slides.
Yep, I'll go ahead and do that now. Let me remove the banner.
I think I figured out why the computer crashed.
Uh-oh, we'll talk about that. Here we go. All right, so we're going to jump right into what's happening today. It's the community town hall meeting at Robinson Park Recreation Center at 1081 North Fair Oaks in Pasadena. Sorry, I'm trying to hold on one second. All right, here we go. Large there. All right, cool. All right. So you can actually have a Pink's hot dog, join friends and neighbors to learn about Reframe System Homes for you. Hear from the Reframe System team about design, build, and finance. You also can get an update from LA County on the Eaton Fire recovery. If you want to RSVP, go to Kitty MJB. That's KITIM as in Mary, JB as in boy at yahoo.com. Or you can call 626-831-5860. And although it said by Friday, which was last Friday, I don't know if they're going to be turning people away, but give it a shot if you still want to participate in this at 5 to 7 today.
5 to 7.
5 to 7. And then I just want to remind folks that Project Passion has the Harambe Freedom Store every Monday and Tuesday. It is for Eaton Fire survivors, and it's only by appointment only. It's at Harambe, 1609 Navarro Street in Pasadena. from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. To register, go ahead and scan the QR code or go to tinyurl.com/Harambe Freedom Store. And then the Eaton Health Village, along with LA County Department of Mental Health and several other community organizations, has free medical and mental health care every Monday and Wednesday from 12 to 5 p.m. at 1280 East Washington Boulevard in Pasadena. They do take walk-ins, or if you do go in, you can set up an appointment in person or call them at 951-595-7032 to set up an appointment or to have some questions answered. This is one of the flyers we were talking about that kind of came up. Tomorrow, September 16th from 7 to 8 p.m. Is going to be a Consumer Watchdog Live. It's going to be inside the fight for our insurance rights. It's a behind-the-scenes look at the battle to protect policyholders. They're going to cover the latest in the billion-dollar State Farm rate hike, what Prop 103 really says and how it impacts you, and how to hold regulators accountable for illegal delays and denials. It's going to have Harvey Rosenfeld, Carmen Balber, and Will Pletcher. There's only 1,000 seats, so invite survivor friends and networks. And in order to register, you want to actually go to the link below. I'm not going to say it. We'll get a short link for tomorrow, so it'll be a little easier to do. But that is tomorrow, 7 to 8. It is an online event on Zoom. LA Fire Justice has a number of events that continue on a regular basis. Because these aren't going to be until Thursday, I'll skip this one for now. There is going to be their continued workshop series at LA Fire Justice, designed to provide a roadmap and answer your questions about the rebuild process. The next one is going to be tomorrow, September 16th, where they're going to discuss laying the foundation, emphasizing where to start. Then the following Tuesday, it'll be September 23rd, discussing designing your future home and plans. The next one will be the 30th of September, choosing the right builder, and October 7th, your rebuild game plan. It is going to be at a new location. It's going to be at the Altadena Coalition, located at 409 East Woodbury Road in Altadena. Opening remarks begin at 6:30, guest speakers at 6:45, and then at 7:30, there'll be a Q&A. And there is going to be a continued series of free concerts, the third of which will be this Wednesday, September 17th, where it's going to be a stroll through the blues with Preston Smith and the Classical Notes. This is going to be located at Washington Park, 700 East Washington Boulevard, beginning at 5:30 p.m. To register, you can visit PasadenaVillage.org or call 626-765-6037 or scan the QR code. Now, there's also going to be an annual park community meeting. This is going to be at Loma Alta Park. It's going to be this Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And it's going to be inside the gymnasium. If you actually go, you're going to be able to meet the park staff, learn about upcoming events, programs, and activities for the year. In addition, they want to hear from you about your park priorities and how we can partner. Now, I know this is Loma Alta Park, but I'm sure there's going to be folks. It's going to be, if you want to register, you go to parks.lacounty.gov/annual-community-meeting. Because it's the whole parks, LA County Parks and Rec, you can speak to something that Tony had mentioned about potentially having a community garden or the solar farms or whatever else you want to talk about, like maybe at Farnsworth, in addition to what might be happening at Loma Alta Park. There's going to be child activities and snacks available as well. And you can also scan the QR code for more information. Rebuild Thursdays, which is being put on by Rebuild Altadena in addition to Fair Oaks Burgers. Every Thursday there's going to be a pop-up. It'll be from 5 to 7, located at Fair Oaks Burger at 2560 Fair Oaks Avenue in Altadena. This is where you get to learn how to save the most possible, all while supporting local businesses as we rebuild Altadena. The Altadena Chamber of Commerce and Civic Association is now accepting applications for their Altadena Business Recovery Grant Program Round 2. It is only for Altadena businesses and nonprofits. The grants are available from $500 to $1,500. For more information, you can scan the QR code above or go to altadenachamber.org. And the deadline for the applications is September 26th. The Here Lay a Home exhibition is still going on at the Armory Center for the Arts. Please check this out. It's going on through the 28th of September, located at 145 North Raymond Avenue in Pasadena. The gallery hours are Friday from 2 to 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday 1 to 5, with appointments available on Thursdays. Then we have the Neighborhood Housing Services and Restore the Legacy Coalition. They're going to have rebuild and recovery workshops. The next one looks like it'll be October 4th at First Church of Nazarene from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's a Saturday. It's located at 3700 East Sierra Madre Boulevard in Pasadena. There will be one on December 13th at Pasadena Presbyterian Church, 11 to 5 as well, at 585 East Colorado Boulevard in Pasadena. Excuse me. And then the Legacy Summit will be at Center of Hope from 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Saturday, November 1st. This is at 9550 Crenshaw Boulevard in Altadena. Some of the topics covered will be interim housing support, low-cost construction project management, technical support to select a general contractor or architect, mission-driven real estate services, discussing whether to buy, sell, or rebuild, and estate planning legal services at no charge. To register, you want to go to nhslacounty.org and go to their events page to register. Chris Holden's 26th Annual Community Resource Fair and Block Party are back on Saturday, September 27th at the 500 block of East Jackson Street in Pasadena. Again, that's between Los Robles and El Molino. You get to shop and support fire-impacted vendors and get a bunch of different resources available there as well. Definitely check this out. And we will have a booth and be physically there representing Altadena Talks. So stop by and give us a shout.
And get on live. We want you.
Who will be there? You and Brian?
Altadena Talks.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. You ain't gonna be there, Tony. Come on now.
Whatever.
I have like 10 things that day, dude. I might stop by for a second.
Is that all? Just 10?
I think I have 10 different things. One in LA. I'll stop by.
Got you. So this last slide for today is Action Altadena Rebuild Fair, Take 2. It's going to be September 28th from 11 to 4 p.m. It's going to be at Victory Park, which is located at 2575 Paloma Street in Pasadena. Join us, bring your family, and be part of a supportive Altadena community as we rebuild together. Look forward to seeing you. If you want to register as a vendor, I have the link below. It's actionaltadena.com /event-registrations/save-the-date-Altadena-rebuild and fair. I know.
That's the.
There's only one the. There's only one the.
That's
it.
That's all, folks.
You know, let's do my my Porky Pig impression.
I was going to say, who used to do that? Yeah, that's Porky Pig. Yeah.
Porky Pig.
I did that.
Porky Pig. Some people are like, who is that?
That's a funny
I guess you can't see me. Huh?
We can hear you. We see your background.
That's so weird.
Man, what is going on? That is hilarious. He didn't need to go off.
I got to call you back. I'm in the middle of the podcast.
Well, we're at the end of it, so we'll wait. I'll wait for Brian to come back on, and we'll probably end it. Sorry for the snort.
You need some Claritin or something.
Man, this is
Claritin Clear.
This is every day for me. Cold or no cold, I got nasal issues.
Oh, okay.
It is what it is. But today I thought, even though it was impromptu, I mean, we really didn't have anything planned. I thought it was real good information.
Yeah.
Really, really.
What happened?
PayPal just informed me of my Facebook consumer privacy user profile litigation settlement payment. It's going to hit my account. Or just did.
Yeah,
Guess how much it is?
PayPal. I don't know.
No, this is a Facebook settlement for user privacy. $38.36.
I was gonna say like $16 or something.
They don't spend it all in one place.
Right? Oh my gosh. Thank you, PayPal, for notifying me. The money was received. I had to say that hilariously.
But that's
everybody
times how many people though?
That's hilarious.
That's why I got 38.36. Yeah, it was a full settlement.
38. On the roll 36.
38.36. So we're getting it now. Hey. That's hilarious. Oh, excuse me. All right. Well, Derek, I just put that note in there. Derek had a thing about his PhD thesis or dissertation. Let me see what was it. And I'm a PhD student in computer in CIS and technology, majoring in AI and data science at Claremont Graduate University. After what happened to us in Altadena, I'm in the process of developing a pre- and post-disaster app for my class and dissertation. I'm in the design phase of the app. The app started out as a class project. Now we are actually looking at investors and taking the app live. I was hoping to talk to you guys and get some feedback on what you think the app
should include.
Oh, okay. I was going to say should look like, because I don't see anything else.
Yeah, because it only has a certain amount of characters you can
exactly. So I replied, Derek, and just told you, please email us at info@altadenatalks.org and I'll reach out to you.
Yeah.
Well, I replied too and told you we need builders, a section for builders and contractors, financial services, temporary housing, community outreach, designers, landscapers, events, so that you can have a place where you can input that or pull it from a database that is out there, such as Instagram for announcements and stuff like that. It goes into a little bit of complication when you do it that way, because now you have to have somebody that's going to be responsible for those APIs to be able to pull that information from wherever they need to pull it from.
Yeah, we can definitely talk
to
him
Derek,
love to have him on the show at some point too.
Well, I'm going to refer Derek to Io from Postfire, because when we were up at the summit, Io and I sat together and talked a lot, and they actually have an app that Portal comes out next month in October, and it is designed, it's a step-by-step recovery plan, and it has a lot of this. So I think, Derek, that you and Io may want to talk, because Io's partner, they lost their house on Thurn, but she works in tech, and so they've been developing this over the last few months, and they displayed it to us at the summit last week. I think it's great that so many people are doing this and looking at having apps that could help people. But there is one, not that yours is exactly like theirs, but if there's anything for collaboration, let me give you this phone number, Derek, and you can text me, and then I'll get you in touch with Io. This is my Google number. Do y'all know it by heart?
That one right there?
No, that's my personal number. You can take that one down. I'm starting to refer people to my Google number.
Well, what is it? We'll just put that one up here.
It's very similar. 626 something. Hold on, I'm getting it. That's why I said my Google number, not my
there you go. There it is. Contact her at 626 something.
Shut up, Fully. Oh, you know what? It might be in my, hold on. You're so ignorant.
Yeah, I don't know if you call that number, it might go to somebody else. But
the laugh track. I think it's 3194. Oh well, you can give him that one. Give him that one. Put it back up. Everybody on the planet practically has my personal number now anyway.
Now I don't know it. What is it again?
You just had it up.
I erased it to put
he changed that banner. He was going to just put the other one.
All right, hold up. Let me find it. Hold up.
946 or something.
No. Here's my Google Voice. Hold up. I'm going to get it for you right now. because I'm
Okay, here it
literally
is.
in my Google Voice on my thing. Oh, 626 636
What is it?
626 636 4194. I was on my Google Voice on my laptop, so I was like, let me look. I be forgetting it because it's so close to my other one. Text me at that number, Derek, and I will connect you with Io, because there might be an opportunity for collaboration or not. But I think since they're debuting their portal next month, I think the app is ready. But I know they have something extremely similar. Lord, I can't talk right now. Similar. Extremely similar. And so because
you
when Brian
shortened it, that's all you did. You just shortened
similar,
it.
yeah. When you put builders, contractor, financial, it has a lot of that in there, I believe. But that's some good stuff to think about. I would love for us to maybe have a Zoom call with you or a WhatsApp call and take a look at what you're doing, and you can pick our brains, vice versa. But yeah, reach out and we'll go from there. I think we are at the end of our show.
Yeah, you saw me yawning.
Well, and I said, and that's about it. And it's like, I don't have anything else to talk about. So know that tomorrow we have Senator Sasha Renee Perez coming on. We will start promptly at 10. Technical difficulties or not, we'll be on here early.
Yeah, one of us is going to be up and running.
I'll set everything up, and y'all can push the button. I don't want to have that happen to me again.
Because we never know.
Gone.
That's fine. All right. Well, I will say toodles. Who has a new comment? Let's see. Who is that just joined? Oh gosh, we had a lot of people. Zurit. I'm not gonna mess up anybody's name. I'm trying to.
I don't even know if that's a real name. I just find it Zurit.
No. Yeah,
welcome,
I don't want to miss it.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you for joining.
Right, not trying to be disrespectful. Alfred Edwards, thank you for joining. DFay 11. Oh, Alfred Edwards 77. Sorry, DFay 11 joined. Great feedback. Okay, Derek. You got the number, Derek? Because you're talking about just text you.
Well,
when people put their numbers up,
no.
I know.
He put his number because we didn't know yours. We kept putting 626 something, 626.
I know, but it's highly likely that I will not text you, Derek. That's why once I got it, I said just text me, because I get super busy and I'll be like, okay, and I won't. So you have my number up there. Please text me. You want to put it up again? What's your name? Brian?
Jim.
That's how you know it's time to call this today. 636-4194. Anybody else that feels like they need to reach out for something, I usually am the one that people can contact, and I'll start the vetting process and all of that. So
I'm gonna text you just because and say, hey, how you doing?
I'm gonna be like, get off my phone for me. No, it's Google.
I tell my phone.
I'm gonna press the button today. And,
all right,
look, hands free. I ain't doing nothing.
I'll throw out the deuces.
Hands up, don't shoot.
It's Monday. Turn your volume down.
Oh yeah. Oh Lord, because I got this new headset on too.